alias Suarez. I'm from Gilford, and I'm here. Whew. Okay, so I have 3 boys, and this is coming from a message of love as a parent. And for my 3 boys, decisions that have been made by other parents to have a transgender child and support what they want, I may think differently in my house. But what I think is that a lot of what I personally feel and a lot of people feel, whether you are for or against anything, is based out of fear. And so what I would like to put out there for the board to do is perhaps get parents' education on this topic. Have a speaker from the hospital. Have a speaker from, and I don't know the proper terms, something gay, lesbian, and transgender. Sorry, I don't know all the names of it, but the point is to get educated. And it's not to make anybody feel something that they don't, but just at least get information so that you're not making a decision based out of fear. At the end of the day, it is about the children. It's about children walking. We live in a really small town. Do we really want our children walking and feeling like they're hated, or feel the hate from parents down, or just by leers and looks? And I'm just saying, let's just get educated. And as far as my understanding and from what I looked up, things about the bathroom, things have never happened from a transgender child. And at this point, I can understand maybe projecting later on, but even then, like a 7-year-old and sexuality, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm just here saying, please, just educate us. Educate our school district. Have a forum, like a speaker, so that parents can ask any question they want, good or bad, and be informed with someone who has good information that they are the expert. That's it.
Any other first-time speakers? Mr. Murphy?
Again, Skip Murphy, 9 Gilford Glen Road. About 8:06, a tall gentleman came by with a brown sweater and a brown hat, big smile on his face, came over to me, and I was giving him a smile back, and he said, and I quote, "I just want you to know that I think you're garbage." So far, I've been called, in this meeting, I am ignorant, uneducated, hateful, fearful, abusive, coerced acceptance, oppressors, and then back to garbage. We had a number of speakers, and I give them props for saying we need to come together. This is not the way to do that. This is the normal stuff that I see online every single day as a political blogger. I've been called every, excuse me?
A hate blogger. I've seen your Grok TV.
Please, order, please. Thank you.
What I wanted to also say, and I think it has been missed here, that while the children are of utmost importance here, the thing that we must keep in order here is that the way that government works, even here in our small hamlet, is of extreme importance as well. That things are done properly, through due process, and that things are done knowing what the terms of the words being used. For instance, and Chris, I want to say thank you very, before I forget, Danielle, you had a very short answer for your report of no. Let me just side note, I bring my 3-year-old grandson into the elementary school, and I want to say thank you for your 2 secretaries that make him feel absolutely wonderful when he comes in for his speech therapy. I wanted to do that publicly so that you know your secretaries at that front office are superb. Thank you. I look at the lack of civics, of not understanding the process. What is the difference between an entitlement, a right, and an obligation? And again, Chris, I appreciate you saying that you won't support guidance C. And I'm hoping it's because of what I brought up earlier, a right. A right is something that stands alone simply because one is a human. I have the right to freely associate with others. That doesn't necessarily mean that I place an obligation, and that's the important word, obligation on others to associate with me. In fact, they have the freedom not to associate with me as well. I have the ability to have my free speech, but that doesn't lay an obligation on anyone to have to listen to me. Guidance C places an obligation, but uses the word right, and I think that's absolutely wrong. So I would ask the board, as they're looking through their different policies, and especially this one as well, is to understand the nuances and the actual terminology, because as a society we throw words out without really looking at the underlying definitions. And I'll say this, and I may get a little disgruntled faces looking back at me, but are we teaching civics and vocabulary, political vocabulary, correctly? Because if we had, that wouldn't have been put into the policy. But I want to say thank you for considering it. You're in a hard place, as another speaker said earlier. But I think that having a complete understanding of what the words mean and what they mean to other people is vital, because I truly believe that if somebody understanding the political nuances, going back into history of our early philosophy, why a right is a right and why it's not an entitlement or an obligation, may have forestalled a lot of the conversation tonight. Thank you.
Any further public comment?
So I heard a few people tonight say,
Name.
oh, sorry, Kyle Sandmore, Bedford Ave. This is for the children, right? We all are wanting the best outcome for all the children. I heard some discussion from Gretchen and Chris about policy, specifically the athletics. I did not get a chance to bring that up earlier. Even the Olympics now is pausing transgender athletes, biological males competing against females, because of biology. You know, this country has strived for women's rights for 50 plus years. This would marginalize those girls. You know, I know Gretchen, I know you were a few years ahead of me in school. You were a phenomenal athlete. You were cross country or track. There's a lawsuit going on in Connecticut right now because 2 girls lost out on potential scholarships because of transgender boys that competed and won the championships. No one is trying to discriminate against anybody, but what is fair? What is right? What is just? And this policy has issues, and I think you guys hopefully will now be able to have some constructive dialogue and go through this thing, because this was just a flow down from the New Hampshire School Board Governors Association. It was a carbon copy of what's been implemented in a couple of other districts. But we need to fight for the girls, right? Where are the feminists? Who's looking? Well, okay, but well, I don't know if this is how that works.
Answer.
I'd love to discuss with you
No, you
guys.
speak that way. I don't want to see your face.
Not here, not now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously nothing, you know, you're never going to agree with everybody on everything. And certainly this is a very polarizing subject. And just as much as they love their children, I love mine. And I want equal opportunity for them too. And when it comes to the athletics, like I said, even the Olympics is now pausing this because they realize that the biological male has a superior advantage. And that's not fair to the girls. And so I just, again, I didn't have a chance to say that earlier. I believe in free expression. Every child should be able to express themselves any way they see fit. But when we start trampling upon others' expression and others' privacy and others' rights, that's a problem. So I don't know where the middle ground is on all of this. I'm just a concerned parent who loves his children as much as anyone in this room does. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm gonna fight for, is my children's rights. So, that's all.
I'm Gretchen Gandini. I live at 18 Belknap Mountain Road. I just wanted to clarify, I was not speaking to my objection to anything to do with interscholastic athletics when I was asking the questions. I was a Division I college athlete. I do not object to the transgender children being able to play sports on the team with which they identify.
Any other Gilford or Gilmanton residents like to speak tonight? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment. And I would like a motion for our non-public. Please read the entire paragraph.
I'll make a motion that we go into non-public pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, small a, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her, unless the employee affected, 1, has a right to a public meeting, and 2, requests that the meeting be open, in which case that the request shall be granted.
Roll call.
Bandini, yes.
Dunning, yes. No high school people involved in this? Thank you all. Okay. Good night.
Croc TV.